It's day 22 of designing an Animal Crossing island in 30 days on hard mode. And yesterday, we focused completely on market day. We managed to make some more money, and I ended up making even more money after everything you saw yesterday. And it's going to allow us to start another project on the island today and pay it off because I have 147,000 bells or thereabouts on me right now. That's without doing the dailies, finding the money rock, all that fun stuff. So that is great because now I don't have to spend the day grinding out bells, which takes up just so much of my time. But it's also Monday, which means it's time for our next weekly challenge.
Ooh, I have some mail. Let's see what it is. Can you believe Grimvale doesn't have daily potlucks? I miss them so much already. Nothing here tastes the same without friends around the table. No potlucks? At all? Poor Molly. She must be starving out there. Okay, this is serious. Dan, you can't let Molly down. Which means your next challenge is clear. You're hosting a potluck. And not just any potluck, a grand feast. You need to cook at least 10 meals and set up a full dining spread. I'm talking tables, chairs, decorations, a cozy eating space, the works. Every villager needs to have a place at the table. And when it's done, Molly will know that there's at least one island in the world where daily potlucks are alive and well.
Okay, so 10 food items and a table and chairs for 10 different villagers so that Molly specifically knows that potlucks are safe and allowed on this island. Now, if you're new around here and you're wondering why it's potlucks, I famously, which is, that word's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, am somebody who's against the idea of potlucks, against the idea of letting a bunch of people from your workplace or your neighborhood or whatever make food in the privacy of their own home with their pets walking in the kitchen on their counters, with them not washing their hands, things like that. I'm against that. I think you should just make your own food or go somewhere that is at least able to be scrutinized by health inspectors who are, paid to make sure the food we're consuming is safe. Or we could just have potlucks with mystery dishes, I guess. That's fine. So this was obviously a ploy from Kato to get me riled up. It's not going to work. You know what? I'm not going to eat there. If Molly and the gang want a potluck, that's on them. That's their problem. It's their funeral. Not my problem, not my business. But I will help them out because I'm the kind of leader who, does things for their community, even if it's not something I'm personally interested in. Let's see, did this plot fill up yet? No. I really thought this would autofill by now. I don't really want to spend miles trying to get someone in there, but we're running out of time. I kind of need to get everybody moved in. So I don't know. We might do a one-ticket villager hunt today. We'll see. Are we going to make the potluck spread today? Probably not. We might make some steps towards that direction, but I currently don't have any DIYs for tables that I really like. So I'm kind of hoping we can manage to wait a little bit and find some more stuff that would make for a nice looking area so things have a little bit more variation on the island. We have kind of a lot of the same items being used because I'm so limited on things. So I might, kick the can a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe I start gathering up some extra food. Once our next batch of crops grows in, of course, we'll have a lot more to work with. So yeah, we have some work ahead of us one way or another. As for the money that I have on my person right now, is it going to be enough to pay down a staircase and unlock something on Harves? Probably not. So that's okay. I stopped yesterday knowing that I wasn't going to have quite enough to do all the things I wanted to do today. But at this point, I have the two most important things on Harves. If I don't get everybody moved in, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that for now. I would like more people in there. Oh, Flick is finally here. Finally. Yay. I would like more people on Harves, but it's okay if we don't quite get there. But certainly the very important task we have ahead of us today is going to be any design task. Anything at all. If we could just get an area filled out with some more furniture and stuff, that would be the ticket. Also, as part of making money yesterday, I did do some fishing, and as you can see, I've got one of each piece of trash now, and I'm really hoping to get one more of these boots so that I can finally have some kind of shoes. I was hoping I would get them as a gift or something by this point in the challenge. It didn't happen. It hasn't happened. I don't think it will happen. But we could certainly fish up our own, or maybe there's some shoes in this balloon. Let's see. No, thief's costume. Okay. Not what I want. Maybe what we'll have to resort to get some shoes, but it's not what I was hoping to do. Oh no. Faith has the thinking bubble. Has it really been long enough for someone to want to move out already? I don't think it has. Oh, just the buddy I wanted to see. This can't go well. Oh, there was a 2-for-1 portable radio deal. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That is 1000% okay with me. Nook Miles tasks for today already included, some stuff we've done. So I've watered crops. We did not get one for chopping down a whole tree, but we did get one for chopping wood. And I say that because I was about to go ahead and just take out this money tree. We'll get the rest of that particular task done by just running through and doing my favorite thing, whacking each tree twice with a really sharp axe. And I saw some concerns about this last time I used this method. The trees do refresh. So you can actually, I think all it takes is walking in and out of a building, but I can test that real quick. If I chop at this tree one more time, it will fall. But if I walk in the museum and back out of the museum, and we have ourselves another swing, I think they'll be okay. Yes, and I even get the last piece of wood out of each of them. Look at that. So that is how that works. It didn't refresh the wood, so 2 swings only got the 1 piece of wood. It remembered that, but it did not remember that we've already hit it twice with a sharp axe. So you can absolutely use a sharp axe. Do I think you should? No, but you can. Ooh, we got some miles for Gyroid Getter. Nice. So yeah, I'm going to run through the dailies that I always do, and when I cut back to me, I will have given some thought to what kind of project we want to do today. I think to stay on track to kind of get this challenge, completed in a successful manner. We will probably need to get 4 stars either by the end of today or tomorrow. That still might be a pretty big, bold statement, a pretty big push, because we're still at 3 and I haven't done anything yet today. We skipped doing things yesterday, basically. We'll see. I'm almost done with my dailies, and I'm now remembering how much I forgot yesterday. I said I was going to buy more wrapping paper, and I did not. I said I was going to order from the Nook shopping catalog a few more things, and I did not do that either. So with only 4 pieces of wrapping paper left, and already like a decision made yesterday for maybe not spending so much time trying to get villagers gifts every single day, I think what I need to do is just choose the villager that I really, really would like a photo of and save all 4 of these wrapped presents specifically for them. And I think it's pretty obvious whose photo we want the most. I mean, it's got to be Samson. After everything we went through to make him the #1 villager, we definitely don't want him to leave, that's for sure. And getting his actual photo would be such a cool way to top this whole thing off. I honestly don't know if it's possible to get a villager photo in this amount of time. Give it in the whole 30 days and a nice wrapped present every single day. I don't think it necessarily is going to work, but I think we'll be the closest with him by the end of this, and that'll still be enough. The delivery jacket. It's they just assume I'm here to bring them things. That's it. That's how I'm thought of in this town. So yeah, do we really want Samson's photo? I don't know. I don't know. We could finally get our first cooking recipe from a cooking villager, which is good because I need to make 10 different things now. And the beach DIY was the mountain standee, which I actually think we're going to make use of. I actually had a kind of a funny idea for this, so I'm excited to see if we can make it work. Hopefully I'll get to show that idea off soon enough, but a couple more things I need to do. I think today I get my first batch of patterns from Sable, and yes, I was absolutely correct. Then I want to buy the recipes for the day. I guess I say the recipes like it's a specific amount or specific type. Really, I'm just looking at the fences. Ooh, okay, country fence is fantastic. Been waiting for this one. And then I want to chip away at these other recipes still, and I think today I want the fountain. I think the one I won't buy is the robot hero because it is the hardest recipe to craft in the entire game, especially if you're not time traveling or anything. So we're not worried about Robot Hero. And then I have 5,000 more miles. I could do another recipe, or I could see if there's anything else in here that would definitely, come in handy and set up the town kind of how we want it. I'm not seeing much, really. Ooh, you know what? It would be nice to have one more of these for a little design thing I was thinking of. The Taurus telescope is, there's so many cool things. Okay, I'm gonna save my points for now. I forgot how many awesome things were in here. Ooh, some cool stuff in the recycling today, though. A sloppy sofa is actually a really good one. I love getting the sloppy furniture items. I think it was so cool that they made an entire furniture set that you can only get as pure RNG from the recycle bin. The main reason I'm here, though, is for our next incline, which is indeed going to be another stone staircase. A little on the pricey side, but we're kind of going to keep to this vibe now of only using a couple different types of staircases and bridges. And as you're well aware by now, the stone staircase is going to go right here. We'll imagine it just for giggles. I imagine I'm very correct and this is the right spot for it. And thanks to all of my hard work, we can pay this off immediately. And there it is. Now, it's a really good thing Flick is here, because if I did want to try and make some more money to go to, Harv's Island and get another co-op going, we could, in theory, catch enough bugs today to do that. And I don't mind bug catching. I actually like bug catching compared to all the other things we could do to make money. So Flick being here is actually pretty OP depending on the types of bugs we can get. This is just some other stuff. I ordered the windmill and the curved streetlight, so we're going to put those by Zucker's place right now. I have a vacuum cleaner from, I think, Happy Home as just a present. And then, ooh, we got the veggie basket DIY. It is a food item that technically doesn't count as a food item. I don't think you can eat it, but it is just a basket of food. I don't know why it's a regular DIY, so I can't use that in my big potluck spread, unfortunately. What we can do is place down this street lamp. So I bought this curved street light, and I was always going to put it right here. So we're going to turn it towards the path and maybe push it, yeah, like right here. I could even pull it out one, and I think that looks pretty nice. I think that kind of matches the overall vibes over by Zucker's place, and I think it looks pretty good. I also bought the big windmill, fully intending on putting it here somewhere. It kind of feels like it actually should go in this spot, and this well picnic area could probably move to where we put that fountain yesterday, or the day before, or whenever it was. And I don't really know exactly where that should go yet, but there's our windmill. And yeah, we can kind of tuck that behind the tree. And that to me looks a bit better, just with the farm vibes. And I want your eye to be drawn to all these different things as you walk up the path. You got the farm on the left with the nice street light. You got the windmill kind of blowing in the background. You got the silo. Everything's kind of working here. And then, yeah, over here, this fountain. Maybe this is where the well can go, and we'll put trees and other stuff. This is probably a good spot. And I still like the idea that it's here for people who don't feel like taking a risk on Zucker's restaurant, but they like the vibes. They're here for the vibes. So we'll do this for now. I don't know if this is a permanent location. I really don't, but I'm just leaving it here for the time being. But you are probably wondering, what was my big plan for a decorating project? I said we had to put some stuff down today, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and do a little bit more work over here by the front of the island. So right now we have an entrance that isn't really much of an entrance at all. We have random items just kind of placed down that I was messing with. And then we have a path that isn't finished going to the museum and then over to these houses in some form or fashion. But now that I have to make a potluck area specifically for Molly, and Molly's house is right here, I feel like I have a little more inspiration to kind of work with the area a bit more and figure out exactly where I want these paths to go. So as with any big Grimvale decorating project, the first thing we need to do is get rid of some excess trees that are in our way, cramping our style, so on and so forth. Oh, I'll definitely take these too. Any bugs we can get today that are worth something, absolutely, we got to sell them to Flick. And you might be bummed about the trees, but I'm bummed about getting rid of these rocks. I thought I ate a cherry. I didn't. That was going to be more dramatic. I have to get rid of these rocks because they are right in the way of where I'm going to put a path. I'll leave this one for now. It might survive this, but this one is certainly in the way. Oh, this is how I know I've cut down too many trees. I was not expecting my axe to break already. And I'll begin now on the paths. I think I can tuck a path underneath this, or no. I really thought you could tuck a path underneath the museum step. I probably do this every single time I start a new island, and everyone has to like face palm as I either I don't know how to do it, or I always just have to ask out loud, wait, can you not do that? And I never remember. I just never retain that. I would say the paths we're working on right now still represent kind of more or less a skeleton of all the different areas I want to path to on the island. But as it stands, I'm gonna have a path running between the museum and Samson's house, just like that. And the question is, do we want it to continue going this way, or do we want to just have it turn up here? And then either way, I wanted to do something like this, where off of the big path is a little path that leads to Samson's entrance. And we can either taper this corner just to kind of make it feel finished, or I could continue pathing up and over to Molly's house, which kind of feels like the natural way to do this. I think if you visit Samson and you see a house right there and you're trying to find the crafting village or whatever, you're not going to walk up here, and then over here. You're just going to go this way unless I block it. So I don't know, but I don't want to connect a path like that. What I might do is a little dirt path, just something kind of like scattered between the two houses to imply that, yeah, sure, you can walk over to your friendly neighbor's house, Molly. You know, you could walk over here from the main road. So yeah, there would be a path coming off the main road that would lead to Molly's front door. I don't exactly know how that's going to intersect with this main road though. So I keep saying main road. Where is it going to go? So I think I will have to get rid of all of this stuff here. It would cut through, and the idea was that it would actually lead to a bridge here, so you could access that beach. And with how well we're doing with money and things like that, I think we could probably afford to do this bridge. I only have a couple more infrastructure projects to really pay for before I have all the ones I want. So this bridge is one of them, and I will probably make one here. And that means even more destruction of trees and rocks. Got another balloon. I think I just about have this path figured out though. Ooh, 200 points just for popping a balloon. And it's a work shirt. Work shirts, delivery shirts. All the signs are pointing to me never getting to just relax. Okay, so this path does run into Molly's house in a way I wasn't expecting. And as you can see, I did make it go up as far as, well, I guess not as far as I could, almost as far as I could. So I'd have to go up one more tile to avoid smashing into the back of Molly's house, I think, yeah. And then we need to decide where it's going to go in terms of up. And I kind of want it to just go this way and then just go straight up where the bridge is going to be. 2 more rocks. That's almost all the rocks in the island. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now the path does go right behind Molly's house. It's always a little bit weird to make a path that you can't see all of because it's behind a residence, but that works. And this is why I kind of make my paths in this outline pattern before filling them in completely, because I was able to very quickly remove the tiles I didn't want and then add the tiles I needed. So no harm there. And then as for the bridge, I think we'll go ahead and make the path intersect right about here. Or maybe this is like as far out as it goes. So then we would just do 2 more tile. Well, it's a little bit close to this side of where the river kind of turns. Okay, 1 more tile here. That means the bridge would be right here where I'm centered with. It leaves a little bit of space between the path and the beach, and I like that. And still nice and wide, which I also like. So yeah, I think I'm gonna commit to it, get it all filled in just like this. And what I love about the path we've created here is all these little sections of empty spots it kind of creates for us, right? So we have our big wide path, but then we have this little corner here because of the sidewalk going to Samson's house. And then if you go over here, there's this whole area right here. And this might be where our potluck goes. And then just over here, we're going to connect a little path going to Molly's front door, and she'll have this little sidewalk that kind of wraps around her house, and that creates yet another space where this tree is, where you could put like a little bit of a decoration of some kind. Maybe it's a campfire and a couple little seats around it. They're like out here roasting marshmallows. I think that'd be really adorable. So there are a lot of opportunities for little bits of scenery here, there, and everywhere on this nice big wide path. I just love nice big wide paths. And yes, we can always do things like put fences around it too. And even if you put fences directly on it, it doesn't like mess with how much room you have to walk, which I love. Another thing this design did very well for me was create a space here and here in front of the museum, so we could, in theory, make a pretty cool entrance. I bought the fountain for a reason today, because I was either gonna make the big fountains here and here, or I was going to instead put a big fountain here at the actual entrance to the island. It's just, I'm always trying to think about how it looks to people coming off of the plane and seeing the museum slightly off center from the ramp. I knew this was gonna bother me. So if I center the fountain with the airport, it's gonna draw even more attention to the fact that it's not centered with the museum. So I'm still struggling with this part quite a bit. I still would like to just go ahead and focus on putting seating here and make it look like a bus stop or something, so you're not too worried about the symmetry of the area. And yes, it is about time we fill in this path as well, so I'll get that done. Ooh, get another balloon? Maybe it'll be something nice and big. It is a loom. Oh my gosh, actually, this is nice and big. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, oh wow. Okay, this might go maybe outside Able Sisters or something. I like the loom a lot. Really cool item, has a cool animation, and yeah, takes up a bunch of space. I love seeing them use the rocking chair. I wonder if I can get a picture before she decides to get up. Let's see. Right There. Oh, perfect. Tiger beetles are a great moneymaker today in particular. Why I really came over here was to kind of taper off the corners of this path too, because I've been neglecting this, and while we have the path tools out, we might as well. I think that's going to look a lot better. And honestly, I think I've run out of excuses. It is time to decide what we are crafting and how much of it we're crafting. So, for example, one item I would really like, perfect fall item here, is this veggie basket. We don't quite have everything yet. We still need carrots and potatoes. A trip to Harv's today might get us one of those, which would be cool. And then, like I said, I got the mountain standee. I have an idea for this. I just don't know if it's for a today build, because I am interested in seeing what are the tables we have access to right now. Because if we go with wooden chair and maybe... we gotta have a simple like wooden table or something, right? We have the wooden mini table and the wooden chair and the low table, which I don't really love for people trying to sit and eat at. And then we have the wooden block table. Is an option, but it's such a weird specific table to use for like an outdoor gathering. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike this table. It's just it's kind of like a kid core kind of item, and I worry that using it in this context is just going to look off. There's mermaid tables, I guess. And then of course there's the spooky table, which for the season we're in, it would probably be in my best interest to just lean into this, but I didn't want to. I don't want every part of the island to feel spooky. It'd be really great if we had the items that Kato used in the clip, that the table and chairs is perfect for this kind of thing. Let's make one of these and just see what kind of options we have at our disposal when it comes to decorating it. Okay, so this is the natural one. This is mixed, colorful, pastel, and vivid. So as you can see, these last three, Kid Core Island stuff, not things we want. We could do mixed, but it's still kind of leaning in that direction, although I like this better because it kind of feels like it has more fall vibes, and natural just feels unfinished to me. This texture always felt like this is the table before you get to actually paint it. But unfortunately, out of all the options, this is at its most like quote unquote normal looking. I don't know if this is what I want to do. And looking at my storage, I don't really have a lot of table options. It's these three. I just put the wooden block table away. So this is it. I guess stone tables are not a terrible option, but they're also kind of a terrible option. I don't know. We might try to wait a little bit on the table itself and maybe just kind of decorate around the area for the time being. I will, however, go ahead and grab this lecture hall bench because I think that would be good for our bus stop I keep talking about. And let's grab the campfire and a log stool. This is the kind of stuff that I think will make a good like little area to put next to their houses for, I was talking about them sitting around a big fire, right? I might make a bonfire with it, and then some log stools around it could be fun. Faith is barging into my house while I'm trying to work. Okay, that's fine. She won't let me use my mini DIY workbench. She just wants to talk about me using my mini DIY workbench. Will you please let me craft? Thank you. She has opted to leave after I bored her to death with my crafting. And yeah, I spent a little time crafting so that I could try some of this stuff out. It also just helps me get things out of my storage. I'm gonna move this tree somewhere else in a rare show of restraint. And yeah, I'm going to try the bonfire back here behind this house, place it down. It might center in this area. It does. It centers pretty nicely. So we can, turn that on, and I could put just a couple of little log stools around it for now. I have crafted a couple of those. So we'll put one there. We'll come around here. We'll put one here. And, oh, that's a little bit close. I could end up moving this to be off center a little more so it feels like there's more room around the log stools, and it'll just be closer to the edge of the path. Not a big deal. And the tree actually wasn't in a terrible spot. It was just kind of a little bit close to that fire for comfort. I wonder if maybe for now it makes sense to just put it here though. It just gives the whole area a little more height and it gets out of our way. And yeah, it just feels like other stuff. We could put something right here. Let's pick this up though, and then look at the fountains that I crafted. So pop one of those down here. They're nice and big. We can get them as close to the museum as possible just for a start. And yeah, pretty close, I would say. Can we push it one tile away? And then what would it look like if we put one here as well? So maybe we put this here. We also push it as close to the museum as possible. And yeah, that actually is centered in a way that I like. It makes the museum feel a little more grand. It might need some kind of path underneath it. I don't know what that would look like yet. Maybe like the arch tile, arch stone path or something. Or it might not. You might not need anything. But that's pretty cool. Oh, you know what it could use is maybe some of those nice iron and stone fences in front of it, which I have not unlocked yet, but soon. And from down here, I don't think it's like bothering me too much that it's not centered with the airport or anything like that. And especially because I am still thinking about doing something like this. Putting the lecture hall bench right here. And I could order another one of these too. We could have, you know, 2 of these side by side, and it'll look like a big row of like 4 benches, people kind of waiting for, you know, folks to get off the plane, things like that. What of the fossils though? I think we could put those next to the museum actually. So I could take the 3 fossils that we kind of put down as just like museum decorations and yeah, make them feel like intentionally kind of like placed next to the museum, almost as if they're just trying to advertise, you know, hey, why don't you come to the museum, see all of our cool fossils. Something like this, you know, just a little cluster of fossils next to the museum, just like that, I think looks nice. I think that adds something for sure. I don't know if that means we put something back here. It kind of starts to tie into resident services at that point, which is a bit odd, but I like this kind of roadside attraction that they offer. I would like it if this was pointed more in this direction. So if I get a different fossil at some point, maybe it can replace this one so it's something that faces the road. But I still think that looks pretty nice. I have another idea that I want to try, but before I do, I need to clear out more of my inventory. And one of the things I did was I grabbed all of the wasps that I've been saving for Flick because I'm going to have him make me a wasp model. I don't know why I'm choosing this as likely the very only bug model we end up getting from him in this entire 30 days. But I had 3 of them and I thought, yeah, Flick can make these into something. So yeah, I got plenty to spare. We'll see how I use that model in the future. It looks pretty angry. I don't know why I'm choosing that one, but there we go. And then I've been capturing bugs. This will just get them out of my inventory. We're going to do a lot more bug catching later today. By we, I mean probably just me, kind of chilling out, watching some TV and earning some money on the side. He gave us a lot for just those 3 bugs, though. I'm very excited. But okay, what's my big plan? Well, it's not much of anything. It is just pure hope that if I spend 1,000 miles, maybe I can get a good recipe out of it. Maybe that recipe happens to be a table of some kind. There's so many things it could be because now I've unlocked cooking. So I don't know. Probably won't get a table, but I'm just gonna try. I forgot too, this is also a good way to get crops you don't have yet because you could find like carrots and potatoes and stuff on these islands. I didn't this time, but that would have been awesome. All right, moment of truth. DIY is a DIY, not a cooking recipe. It is the giant teddy bear. Okay, not a bad item. Giant teddy bear's cool. Not what I'm looking for, but it's cool. We're owed a gyroid fragment, so I'll go ahead and dig up that. And then, I don't know, should we just cut it all down? I'll cut until the trees are gone or my axe is gone. I'm gonna have to craft a lot of stuff. We might even have to settle on wooden block table later on, but yeah, this is gonna take a lot of crafting, so I'm doing it. Okay, I did manage to cut down all the trees, and my axe didn't break. I could take some shrubs along with me, but I don't know, we only have a few spaces, and I already have shrubs at home that I could just grow in a couple days, so we'll just go. One of my Nook Miles tasks today is to cook a couple of things. I don't think these will be things for the potluck, because I don't really have a lot of options, but we can make a couple of cherry drinks, and that'll at least satisfy that. We need the Nook Miles really bad right now. And I'll be honest, it wouldn't hurt to just make as many of these as I can and sell them. So there we go, 300 points for that. We'll get this stuff sold. My inventory filled up so I couldn't make too many. And then we're gonna focus my attention on this area I was talking about earlier that would become the potluck area. Because like I said, today I really just need to get stuff placed down at any cost, honestly. We got enough to craft materials now. Even if I can't do the big table I wanna do in the middle yet, we can certainly do some stuff around it, and I do have a couple ideas. I've been thinking a lot about the mountain standees. I actually do think those could work here, similar to I was thinking I'd put them or arrange them somewhere. This is probably as good a spot as any for what I'm thinking, and I'm excited to show you. So I think I'm gonna start with a dirt path, and this is just gonna, you know, represent the area where people are kind of gathering, right? I just want to put down something to kind of make the area feel finished once we actually start putting stuff down. So I'm just going to create a big dirt rectangle. I'll taper off all the corners, and then I think I'm also going to create a little entrance to the big dirt rectangle right here. And this is perfect because now I have an excuse to kind of put fences surrounding this. And I'm going to use the country fence. I love this fence. It's incredibly cheap to make, and it looks so good when you're kind of in the position that I'm in right now, where you're forced to make a pretty rustic looking island with mostly DIYs and other random junk that you find. I'm probably going to use this fence in a few places, maybe around like the flower garden later on. That was one of my ideas, and I'm glad we got it. So 30 is way more than I need. I'm not even going to surround the whole thing with it. I'm just going to kind of put a few in front. I'll actually have this stop at the river for now, and then I'm going to put some fences kind of here, and it'll go a bit in like an L shape. And for the time being, we'll have them stop right here at the river. I know you can still like walk around them like this. I might have them eventually meet the river. I might actually pull them back a little bit and throw a tree down. I'm not sure yet, but I just wanted to see how this looked. And yeah, I would say this looks pretty nice. That's cool. Now, with the trees that I grabbed, I thought it'd be kind of cool to have the trees. This is where we get into a little more symmetry, like here and here. So they start to create like a bit of a backdrop, right? To like just the scenery, to everyone eating. And I'll just use regular hardwoods for this. So something like that. And this is cool. This creates kind of like a nice little window, right? So everyone's sitting and eating and they can look out at the waterfall. And then when it comes to the mountain standees, my thought was that I can use them as a bit of a backdrop for this area. And then I would take, well, let me just show you real quick. I would take maybe one or two of the springy horses and kind of add them to the backdrop. And I was thinking at first, maybe this would be kind of cool for like a stage area. It would look like a little community theater where, you know, there was an old Western show or something. And I don't know, I think that could be fun. But my other idea is as I look out over there, I think, well, wouldn't it be cool if the mountain standees were way out there and then the horses were also out there with them? But I don't know. Maybe if that area was more centered on this little spot here, because right now I have a bunch of water I can't do anything about. And then so just be in the corner, these weird little toys that I put there. So maybe this makes more sense, right? When people are eating, if they get bored, they can jump on the horses or something. And I just think that when you make an area like this, it is important to have a backdrop of some kind. And I don't know, why not this? This is kind of fun. So yeah, I may get another one of these horses and I might push the mountain standees back even further and have two of them. That could be fun. But the plan is to have a big table right here with chairs around it. Maybe we put another table right here with a couple other little things like drinks or whatever for the potluck. Another shrub or two like right here wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't want to do exactly what I did right there across the river, but like maybe one shrub right here would be good. And then another one maybe here or something. So yeah, maybe a yellow shrub right here, an orange one right here. I'll take the points for planting them. Wasn't expecting that. And speaking of points, one thing I am certain of is that if I buy 1 or 12 of these, they will all get used. And speaking of backdrops, I think this would make for a really nice addition to the backdrop of this scene that we're creating. In fact, if I can get 2 of these, which I can technically afford, I think that would make it perfect. So I am going to buy 2 with the rest of my Nook Miles. And later when I'm grinding by like catching bugs endlessly, maybe I also take some time to just get a whole bunch of Nook Miles tasks done to try and replenish a little bit, because there's so many cool items in there that would make this so much easier if I had them. And if I put those either in front of or behind these little mountain standees, just like 2 side by side, yeah, I think that'll look really, really nice. With some more points, I could get a street lamp and maybe take away this corner fence and pop a street lamp right here. I haven't done much yet, but this area is kind of turning into a vibe. I like it a lot. I was thinking about the next thing I want to do to this area, and I actually just got a go board from a balloon, so yet another like little game. We could put like a whole little game area somewhere. We have a few things like that, board games. And I don't know what that would look like or where it would go. But yeah, as I was thinking about what else can I do over here, I did want to try something because it does feel like aligning this path with other stuff would be fun. So I made a couple of swinging benches. I already had one. I took it, I crafted another one, and then I stained them to look like this. And I thought, oh yeah, this could be kind of fun. Just put these next to the path, kind of like this, almost as if they're like fencing or something. I don't know. And it just makes the whole area maybe feel a little more like a hangout kind of spot. I don't know. I might not keep them, or maybe we decorate around them. Maybe I put some flowers around them or something like that, which we do need to find places to kind of fit flowers. So maybe these stay. I don't know. This is kind of cool. And with these in mind, it does feel like our path could actually veer off over to the beach as kind of an invitation to go hang out at the beach. And maybe if we get a couple of beach furniture items, this little sliver of sand right here could be decorated with a couple of fun things. Would love to get like a beach ball or something. But yeah, that kind of making this like faux intersection might be a good way to kind of corner these off a little bit. I don't know. I just like that. I think it looks good. As you can probably imagine though, I am getting a little bit desperate to get items so I can just put things down, and I'm just going into different spots and looking at them and making excuses as to what could go here, there, and everywhere that would make sense. Samson had something for me, a fitness tank. Oh, come on. I was really hoping it would be a piece of furniture, like I was literally just saying. But no, okay, fine. Here's way too much money for a thing I'll never wear. Thanks, Samson. But okay, fine. Since I'm kind of out of ideas for the moment and I need to recharge my brain, let's hit up Harv's Island. And we are here specifically to see the new stock that Leaf has right now. Oh my gosh, he gave me the hedge recipe too. Oh, I didn't know I would get that already. That's awesome. Okay, that's huge. We can definitely use some hedges. But yes, I'm here to shop. Watch it be both carrots and potatoes. Oh, okay. It is carrots, not potatoes. I'll take it. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't know where to plant these. I mean, I guess over here makes the most sense. It's one more little square of dirt. We'll have our carrots. I don't know where potatoes would go if we ever get those. And then if we did, would I think, oh, it would have been cool to put the carrots and potatoes together? I don't know. I definitely want them growing like immediately though. I don't want to wait to plant these. Okay, let's go ahead and move these trees. Let's just shake everything while we're over here, just in case. Yep, all right, yeah, I'll take those. All right, some money, some wasps, no big deal. I guess we could replant them like here. I don't know. We can worry about trees later. Let's just get these carrots planted and watered. Probably a little more work I need to do over here to make the farm feel more tied together because it's getting a little bit away from the decorated part and this stuff is everywhere. But yeah, no, Zucker is kind of our farms are, so this works out. And with that, I think that's all I can do today. Of course, I have some more money making I need to do before the end of the day for me, but for you, you know, tomorrow some more stuff is going to happen. When that video is ready, it'll be right here, or in the meantime, you can just subscribe. I'll see you there. Goodbye.